Hi everybody, this is Dee. I'm here to show you how to make the cup carrier, and as you can see, you can do them in all different yarns. You can do them in different colors. You can add beads to them. This one here doesn't have a bead. You can just put a tassel on it. This one has a couple beads on it. This one doesn't have any. This is done in a bulky weight. This is, like I said, beads. This is the one I've been using all week. Okay, so we're going to start out this. Let me get these out of the way. You want to use cotton. Now, you can use any yarn you want to use, but cotton doesn't seem to stretch as much, and it's a little bit more stable. So that's why I always tend to use cotton yarn. All those that I showed you are made in cotton. I'm going to make this one with this Hipster's cotton. It's 229 yards, Premier Hipster cotton. And this is in the colorway Awesome Aquarium. And it's not going to take this whole one. You can use Peaches and Cream. It will just take one ball. It's very simple. The only thing that, oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, sorry. The only thing that, is the bead. I'll grab a bead later on. But all you're going to need is a skein of cotton. And like I said, it can be a small Peaches and Cream. This is a size 6 hook, a darning needle, and a pair of scissors. Okay, so that's all you're going to need to make the cup cozy, other than the bead, if you want to put the bead on. Okay, well, let's get rolling with this. Okay, so we're going to start out with a magic circle. Okay, to do a magic circle, this is how I do it. I know everybody might do it different, but this is how I do it. I hold this with my thumb. I wrap it around 2 fingers. Can you see? I wrap it around 2 fingers and I cross it like an X. I go under this one right here. I grab that, pull it through, flip it over, and I grab the crocheting end of it. Okay, and there's our magic circle. Okay, so you can make a magic circle, or you could chain 4 would be fine. You could do anything like that, okay? So however you do it, but I always do a magic circle. And then we're going to chain 2. Now in this circle, we're going to go over the tail. In this circle, let me see if I can move the camera down a little bit more. Okay. Alright, so in this circle, we're going to do 12 double crochets. Okay. Sitting here is a little different than where I'm used to sitting and crocheting. Okay, we're going to do 12 double crochets. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so we have our 12 double crochets, and we're going to grab this loose end and we're going to pull it as tight as we can. Okay, then you're going to slip stitch into that top 3rd chain. There we go. Okay, so we got our little circle here. Okay, Now you're gonna chain 2, and you're gonna go around. You're gonna go right back into that same hole that this chain 2 is coming out of, and do a double crochet. That counts as 2 double crochets. That chain 2 counts as a double crochet. Then we're going to go into each stitch and do 2 double crochets all the way around. Okay? Just make sure you go under both. You know, go under that V right there. See that V right there? Make sure you go under both. And do 2 double crochets. And I only did 1 in the last one. Okay. 2 double crochets in each stitch. Make sure you get under both loops. Okay, we're going to do this in every single stitch around. Once you get that done, once I get it done, you get that done, we'll move to the next step. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, we got 2 in each. So because we started out with 12, there should be 24 stitches around. Then we're going to do the same thing and slip stitch into that top of that first stitch. Okay, then we're going to chain 2. This is round 3. Chain 2. We're going to put another stitch in that same stitch that we started out with. Next stitch over, we're only going to put 1 double crochet. Next one, 2 double crochets, and so on all the way around. So there's number 2, and there's number 1. 2, and the next one will be 1, 2, 1. We're going to do that all the way around. And I'll see you when I get done with this one. Okay. Now we're going to go on that top stitch again. Okay. This round's a little different. We're going to chain 2. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to go into the back loop. We're going to do 1 stitch in every stitch, but we're going to go in the back loop like this. Okay, you're going to go into that back loop. Can you see what I'm doing? Oh, jeez. Okay. Going into that back loop. And we're doing 1 double crochet in the back loop only, all the way around. Okay? Pretty simple. Alright. And I'll catch up with you after we've went all the way around. So it's just 1 double crochet in the back loop only. Looks like I got a knot coming up here. Yep, I do. Of course I do. Okay, I'll fix that knot in a minute. So 1 double crochet in the back loop only, all the way around. I'll be back. Okay, same principle. We're going to slip stitch in there and chain 2. Okay, and as you can see, there's like this little ridge all the way around. That's going to be the outside of the cup carrier. But I like to get rid of this middle string right here, so I don't have to fight with it later. So I use my darning needle, and as you guys know, I always go back and forth 3 times And of course it's going to give me problems. There we go. I'm going to go a couple more stitches, I think. There we go. Okay, there's one time. Skip over a couple so we're not going the same way. 2 times. Oh, dog alert. Sorry, hold on. Okay, and this is our 3rd time. Alright, because you went back and forth 3 times, you don't have to worry about it coming undone. So we can clip it right there. Okay. Alright, flip it back around. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to go around and do double crochets in every stitch. I don't know if my hands are in the right spot. I pulled the camera down. I don't know if I pulled it down well enough for you guys. There we go. Alright, so we're going to go around and do double crochets, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, we're at the end of the row. We're going to slip stitch into that first stitch. Oh boy, I'm sorry, dog alert. Okay, chain 2, do it again. We're going to put 1 double crochet around, slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet around. We're going to do this for 12 rows. So a total of 12 rows. So this is 2 that we've done. Now we're on number 3. Okay, so you're going to do that for 12 rows. And when you get that part done, I'll be back and show you how to do the handle and that. But this is how it's looking. And you see we got our little ridge going all the way around. That kind of establishes the bottom of it. But it's basically all just a single, double crochet in each stitch. Sorry about that. Each stitch all the way around. Pretty simple. And do this for a total of 12 rows. And this will fit darn near any cup you have. And if you've seen the thumbnail, the pictures there, I have the shorter, like Yeti cups in there. I have the taller Yeti cups. I have the ones with the handles. I have the tall, skinny ones with the straw. You can do it, put any size cup pretty much in these. The cups with the lids you carry around with you. You can put just about any size in there because the cotton will stretch enough to go around that handle of the cup, if it protrudes out the side. And it will also, if you put something heavy in this, it'll go skinny, if you have one of those straw cups. So this will pretty much, cover any cup. And I made it easy with 12 double crochets to start in the magic circle, and then 12 rows, so it's easy to remember. And that's pretty much it. And when you get done with your 12 rows, I will be back. Like I said, it's super quick, super easy. If you stick to it, you can get this done in probably an hour or so. And you can use 1 ball of peaches and cream cotton. Is more than enough to do it. And after I get this 12 rows, I'll be back to show you how I do the handle. And we'll make a tassel. And that'll be it. Super simple. Okay, guys, I'll see you at the end of the 12 rows. And we're on row number 3 as of right now. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so now we're going to do the handle. Now you can crochet 60, 80 stitches. It's pretty much how I do it. I would measure from your shoulder to your waist and then double that. And you don't want it any longer than your waist because the weight of the cup is going to pull it down some. Okay, and then you're just going to be hitting your hip as you walk. Okay, so we're going to just make a chain. and measure from your shoulder to your waist. Okay, I'm going to do 60 single crochets in a chain, and then once I've got that done, I'll be back to show you how to do the next step. Actually, I figured I probably should do some of this with you in case you don't know how to do that. Okay, so all they're doing is chaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, let me get some more yarn, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Okay, so you see that once you double that, I hope you can see the length of it. All right, so then we're gonna do 2 extra, so it's 62 that I'm doing total. Okay, then we're gonna wrap our yarn around, count down 2 stitches, and make a double crochet into that chain. Okay, and you're gonna do a double crochet, of course my hands are shaking, into every stitch. Let me get this straightened out, there we go. I'll be right back, jeez. Okay, we're gonna do a double crochet into every stitch. So you just go down the chain and do your double crochets. I'm having problems with my hand shaking today. Okay. Sorry, dog alert. And you're gonna go down the whole chain. And when you get to the end of the chain with your double crochets, then we'll meet back up and I'll show you the next step. Pretty easy. Crocheting into a chain or your first row is always a pain in the butt. But you can do it. Okay, you see how it looks? And I will be back with you as soon as I get to the end of this. Be right back. Okay, all right, so now I'm done with my 60 stitches. Now this is where we are. So we skip 1 stitch and connect it, just slip stitch it in there. And that puts that on there. When we go around, I'll show you how to attach that better. Okay, now you can leave it at 1 if you want to, 1 row, but I like to do 2 rows. So I do 2, and then I skip 1 and go over. Okay, flip it around. And then I start doing double crochets in all the double crochets. And I go down and do a double crochet in the top of every double crochet to the end. And when we get to the end, I'll show you how we attach it and go around the whole top of the cup holder in order to secure this handle a little more, and also to just kind of put a little border on that. But you see how that ends up? But I do 2 rows. A lot of people do 1 when they're doing a strap, and to me, once it stretches out, it becomes too thin. So we're just gonna go down and do a double crochet into every double crochet. Make sure you go into both loops there, you know, both loops, and do your double crochets all the way down. And when I get to the end, I'll be back. I'll show you how to connect it. So you see how it's looking so far? Okay, I'll be back. Okay, when you get to the end, you're gonna have this little weird, so make sure that you put a stitch in that so that you have a total of 60 stitches. Okay, so now we take the handle. Now, we started out with 24 stitches, right? So there should be 12 stitches on either side if you go from the center. So I always just kind of eyeball it, but if you want to count the stitches, you started out with 24. You put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to say 19. It's going to be a little odd number. Okay, so what you do is you make sure your handle is straight and folded properly. And I always just look where the other one was and go under both and slip stitch it in. Now here comes the part where we start the edging and also connecting the handle, okay? And what we're gonna do is we are literally just gonna go through them and single crochet. And just do the best you can, you know, you don't have to, just make sure that you're attaching that handle. Okay, I'm going to put another one right in there. Okay, now I'm going to go around the edge. Now we got a handle attached. And I'm going to, let me pull some yarn out. Now we're going to go around and we're going to put a single crochet in the top of every stitch. Just to kind of give it a border, a little bit of stability. Okay, so we're going to put a single crochet in every stitch all the way around. And then when we get to our handle, I will show you on the other side. Like I said, I've got a little bit of shaky hand going on today. Sorry, guys. Okay. Getting old, not for sissies. Okay. All right. Now you want that border. Do you see the border that showed up here when we attached it? You want that on the outside of that handle. Okay, so you're going to kind of fold that handle in and just kind of single crochet. There's no, you know, real rhyme or reason to it. You're just attaching it to make it more stable. And of course, it's going to give me a problem there. There we go. And just kind of making a border across it. Just kind of put them where you can, you know. Okay, and then we're going to continue on and see that puts it on the outside. Now we're going to continue on with our single crochets all the way around the edge, making sure we go under both loops. Hope you can see okay. And that single crochet there just gives it, like I said, extra stability, kind of straightens out the edge, gives it more of a finished look. Okay, then we get to the end. Oh, let me do that stitch again and need some more yarn. Then when we get to the end, we're right next to the handle here, as you can see. We just kind of slip stitch it into that. And then we use our scissors, cut it, pull it through, tighten it up real good. Then we're going to use our darning needle. And as always, I go back and forth 3 times to make sure that it stays where it's supposed to. So I'm just going to kind of go in here. All right, come on now. There we go. All right, there's one. Make sure you're not going in the same stitches, you know, just kind of. There's 2. And then back one more time. Okay. Alright, so that part's done. Let's take a look at it. Let me get my yarn out of the way. Okay, so there we go. We got our cup cozy. And as you can see, it has the trim going all the way around. Alright, next step, we're going to make a tassel. Now, you don't have to do the tassel if you don't want to. You can leave it as is. You can do a tassel with a bead on it. You can put a button on it, whatever you want to do. But for this, I'm going to make a tassel. I got my little clover tassel maker thingy here. But you honestly could just wrap it around a box, your telephone, whatever. I've always got this thing kind of handy, so that's what I do. And I just wrap around until I feel like the tassel's as big as I want it to be. This one I'm not going to make real big. Oops, changing colors a little bit there. There's some white. Let's get that all over it. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now I'm going to cut that in. I'm going to go underneath one whole side of it with the yarn, pull it up to the top, leave myself enough to be able to attach it to the cup holder. I'm going to tie that 3 times, everything in threes, I guess. Okay. Alright, I'm going to cut that. Then we're going to cut this at the end. Okay. Then we got our little tassel, which we're going to even out, at the end. Okay, this is how I do it. This is how I make a tassel. I take my yarn and I loop it and make the loop taller. And I make, the other end of it way shorter. Okay, so I can see that. I can see the loop at the top. Okay, then I grab it, decide where I want this to be. Wrap it around kind of tight a few times. Oops. Kind of try to make it look smooth as you can. Okay, that looks good enough for me. Alright, cut that off. I grab that little loop that I had there. I stick that through that little loop. Now we gotta find our short one. There it is. And if you watch, as I pull, oh Lord have mercy. As I pull, it's gonna come through. Straighten all that out. There we go. Okay. Alright. Tie that. 3 times, of course. 3 times is a charm for me. Then I take these ends and I take my darning needle and I just put it behind that knot kind of thing that we made there and pull it through. Do that with the other one as well. With the short one, you kind of do it in the middle so it hides it. Okay, so there's our tassel. Now I'm going to cut it probably about right there. Been using these scissors for years. I think I need to grab another set of scissors. Okay, now I'm gonna even it out a little bit. Trim it up. snips right there. Okay. Let's get all that mess out of the way. Alright, so now we got our tassel. So we have to find the even right in the center. You can count your stitches and kind of go, that's where it looks like it needs to be. Let me grab a needle. Okay. Go through there. Again, tie it 3 times. Put our tassel there. Now, if you wanted to put a bead on, you do that before you do this. Okay? So your bead is right on the top of your tassel. And tie it 3 times. Then I take these ends. And just like before, I go down through it and through the bottom there. And then snip them off. I'm just putting both in at once. Okay, so we're going to go through the center of this, underneath that, and pull it through. Okay, and then trim it off so that it's the same length as the rest. And there's your little tassel on your cup cozy. Pretty simple, eh? Yeah, I like that. That turned out nice. So there we go. That's how you make a cup carrier. And like I said, I mean, you can see I use probably less than half of this skein of hipster cotton. I can make another one and then some. So one, you know, small ball of cotton, like a, you know, a peaches and cream or whatever, that will make your cup cozy. And I'll be back in a second to show you how the cup cozies look. Well, I'll put a picture up. How the cup cozies look with the cups inside them. It can fit any cup. I'll show you in just a minute. I'll be back. Okay, this is the one I just made. I just wanted to show you. This is one of the larger Yetis. And this fits in here. Perfectly. Okay. And you could also use it for the ones with a handle. You wouldn't think that would fit, but it does. So what you do is you just pull it over that handle. There you go. You got one with the handle on it. You also can use it for the smaller ones, the smaller cups. It works for that. It works for the ones with the straw. Also works with a bottle of water. You just throw it in there and take it with you. Bottle of soda, bottle of water. Put it over your shoulder. And I also brought my old phone and some earbuds. Let's say I'm not taking a drink with me. Oops. I could just stick this in and use it as a mini purse. Okay? So you can put all different things in them. And they're pretty simple to make. And there we go. There's our cup cozy. It'll just about handle any size cup that you have. And super simple to make. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. And I will see you guys on the next one. All right? Bye for now.